Welcome to Let's Talk Podcast Reacts with High Value Hebrew. Yes, we got another one. And make sure you guys definitely go and check out some of our other videos that we have, different reactions that we've done. With that being said, all right,
Okay,
Robert,
so the woman that is to the right of your screen is Ilyana Van Zandt.
Very pretty woman. So they're basically, she's interviewing her, and a question is being posed, and I don't want to give it all away. So let's just play it, and you guys definitely check it out.
Iyanla Van Zandt, we are so blessed to have you here with us today on the Griot. I want to start how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Now, I want to pause it. What is your response to that?
Wow. Okay. Just the mere fact that she's speaking the way she's speaking, she's already putting herself in a social economic class that brings down the numbers of the men that she deems eligible. She's on a TV show. She has credentials and things like that. So the higher a woman goes up the social economic ladder, then the numbers drop as far as the men that they find eligible or worthy. And what I mean by that, again, you and I, we talked about this before, but we're talking about hypergamy.
Okay.
Women only like to date across and up. Okay. And in this case, it's up, right? Now, it doesn't mean that's necessarily a bad thing, but they're complaining, oh, these guys are not on my level, right? Like guys have just disappeared. No, the same amount of guys are out there. Okay, it's just that you went up socially or financially, and you're looking for guys in that same realm. Here's the bad part before you start again, is that men are not looking for women on that high level. Why? Because they're gonna have an attitude of they don't need them. And guess what men want in relationship? Besides the status, they want the respect. And women like this or like her, they're not gonna respect, because she's gonna treat the man like a take it or leave it. Let's just say she's worth $1 million. I'm making it up. I have no idea what her income or her status is. But let's just say she's worth $1 million. And she meets a guy who has $1 million or $2 million or $3 million or whatever. She's gonna treat him in such a way that I don't really need you. It's nice to have you here and but I don't really need you, kind of thing. You know, that kind of, and a guy wants respect in his relationship. But we can watch some more. I can see the problem. The writing is on the wall.
But I want you to answer the question before she answers the question. So before this, this is an edited clip, so y'all definitely go. I'll try and remember to put it in the description box. Okay. But she's asked the question, how does a woman live in her divinity? I think that's what she said the word was.
Yeah.
The conversation before this was the masculinity that women give off. And the sister was saying that, what does that look like? The one that's complaining now about men not earning. She was like, well, how are we not, what are we missing? And she tells her grace, just being graceful, being gentle, being nurturing. She was saying we don't have that. Well, this woman is saying, well, how are we supposed to get back to that if the men are not stepping up, providing and making more income and things of that nature? What would your answer be to that before she answers that? How does a woman get back to that if a man isn't doing what he's supposed to do?
Well, my answer is that the men are stepping up. I know they keep saying that they're not or whatever, but remember, a lot of men are invisible to women like that. When a woman is like, when hypergamy is activated, a lot of men become invisible. Most guys are invisible. And then when you're going up to, when they go up this socioeconomic ladder or whatever, the guy that she wants has to want her back. And so she's operating from the point of that she is the prize. And so she's the one who's judging the guy. Oh, well, he's not stepping up as a leader, or he doesn't have this, or he's not that, or and all that, right? But no, the guy, just by virtue of the fact that those kind of guys are hard to find, it makes them rare, and she's not getting it. And she's not necessarily the type of woman that those guys are looking for. Yeah. That's why you get into maybe she should be soft, because guess what? It's a roundabout way of saying that she should be traditional, because that's what guys want in a serious relationship. Guys are not looking for this whole power couple thing. We don't want that. That's crap.
Look at her face, bro.
Yeah. Look. Does that look inviting to you? Does that look welcoming to you? Yeah, she's cute. Don't get me wrong, she's cute. But look at her. Her lips purred. Look at her. You stopped it at the right time, right there. Like a guy has to earn his right to even be in her presence. But continue.
Would you date a bus driver?
Interesting.
What do you think she gonna say?
You see that? Would you date a bus driver? That's a good question. Now, I'm interested to hear what she got to say. But if she's honest, she's gonna say she would not date a bus driver. But hypergamy, and that's because of hypergamy. She wants across and up. So unless he owns, okay, go ahead. If he owns a whole company or something like a bus driver,
if he owns the bus. If he owns
what?
If he owns the bus,
that's a problem. That's a problem.
If he owns
the bus.
If he
look at her face. Look at her face.
Look at her face. I'm not gonna date down. You see? They don't date down.
Look at her face.
See her face? They don't date down.
She didn't mention anything else. She didn't mention the way he treats her. And look how she's looking. Like, I got him. Got him. Like, look, she's like, I got him. She's like, I got him.
And right there, she's presenting the problem right there. And she don't even get that that's the problem. She don't even get that that's the problem. And Ilyana, she pointed it out. So Ilyana is saying with that question, she's saying there are plenty of guys available. But would you date a bus driver? Well, if he owns the bus.
Well, this is why they're invisible. But how many, especially if you want a black man, how many black men owns the bus?
Exactly. It's not many. That doesn't happen. But you see what I'm saying? So it's slim picking.
Okay, so what she's saying is it's the men's fault because they need to own more buses.
Exactly. That's what she's saying.
That's what she's saying. How am I supposed to live in that grace and that femininity if the brothers aren't owning more buses, are becoming more entrepreneurs?
Yeah, the brothers are not stepping up. They're not stepping up, owning more buses. Yeah.
That's a problem. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on
facial expressions are killing me
all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society.
Bingo.
I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well.
Look at her face.
Bus driver.
What do you think of that?
Look at her face. You see that? Yeah. Ilyana is hitting it on the head. She said what you just said. See, and guys, I hadn't seen this clip. I had not seen this. And she's hitting it on the head. She's like, if it's a good dude. But look at what's first in a modern woman's mind. Look at, does he make money? You see, is it the money? Is the it's the status?
They just complain when they get with the man that makes some money and he beats her and he lies to her and he cheats on her and he abuses. Then they're upset. Oh, he treated me so bad. But you weren't looking for any of those qualities. All you cared about was if he owned the bus.
And it tells you right there that these modern women do not know how to vet men. That's why they ask the question, where have all the good men gone? Because they don't know how to vet them. There are good men, but they don't know how to vet them. The first thing they look at, the money. That's it. Status. Have me on his arm has to make me look good. He has to lavish me with this. I have this certain standard of living. Remember, in the beginning, she's a goddess, she's a queen. Mm-hmm. She's an empress or something. She's all these things. How do we fix our crown? And first thing first, I am everything. I'm way up here. I have a high status. How do I get a man to come up here with me? How do I do that? It's not going to work.
Yeah, not at all.
But we think that it's another human being's responsibility to give us what we need instead of us building together. I can build with a bus driver. I'd have my little stash over on the side in my prenup, but I could build with a bus driver. So I think
look at her face, bro.
You see her face? Oh, those expressions. Oh my god.
The expression she's making, like,
yeah, she's like she threw up a little bit in her mouth. She threw up. She did. Yeah. She threw up. Go ahead.
The criteria that we.
It's those faces. I just want to. Like, you think you all that? She really. She is all that in a bag of chips. This woman is 40 years old. I'm pretty sure she's not married because she was saying, "Oh, I tried them all, and every race, everything, every age, they ain't no good."
She thinks every guy is beneath her. She thinks every guy is beneath her. And that's why they say, look, these alphas, what she's looking for, is that they don't want to build with anybody. They want to go to the finish line and wait for the guy to cross the finish line. That's what she wants to do. She don't want to build with anyone. She wants him to she wants to wait to the finish line, and when whatever her financial threshold is, she's waiting for whatever guy crosses that threshold. Oh, he makes $500,000. Oh, he makes $1 million. He makes $5 million. Okay, that's who I want. The problem is she doesn't realize that he has to want her. But continue.
Look for in the reality of today keeps us unhappy, keeps us angry, keeps us imbalanced. And then when the men show up, we want to beat them up because they're not living up to our standards and criteria. And it's not working, beloved. It's just not working.
Yeah, it's not. Look at her face.
It's not that it's bad or wrong. It's obsolete.
Thank you. She hit it. She hit it on it. I said it wasn't gonna work. I told you that. I said it don't work. The criteria that they have, it doesn't work. It's not an opinion. It is, Christina, look at the numbers, look at society, go out your front door and look at relationships. The way they're doing it now doesn't work. You have the empirical evidence. You have the people around you. You have the numbers. You have countless TikToks, YouTubes, Instagram. You have all of it to show you that the way they try to vet a guy does not work. They want to be modern. They want to be modern. They want status. They want attention. They want time. They want a man's resources. They want someone to look good. They want to look good on the guy's arm. And they have this delusion. Look how she started. I'm a queen, mother, goddess. How do I keep my crown? All this other stuff. And Iyanla was telling her, listen, can you build with a bus driver? And the whole point, the key takeaway here is, can you build with someone? Can you stick with a dude from scratch? Right? Yeah. Can you stick with a dude from scratch and maybe build? Even Iyanla said, well, I can build a bus driver. But since Iyanla got a lot of money, she's saying, now I may have my money to the side. I may have a little stash on my side or whatever in a prenup, but I can build. So at least she's realistic. Yeah. At least she's realistic. She's saying, well, I can build.
She even admits in the interview, she admits that she is still a little alpha. She admits that she ruined her marriage. She admits that she was never a mother. She was a great dad. That's what she says. But she was a crappy mom. And she even had to admit this to her children. Like she admits all of this. And she even admits now that she still does retain some of those alpha traits, which is not a good thing.
No, it's not.
Coming to a point now and realizing I screwed up. But that's the thing. Why does it take us so long? I'm thankful for her because I'm always talking about how the older women need to start schooling these girls, these younger women. They need to school them. So I'm proud because that's not an easy thing to do, to get up. This is not a lot of people knows this woman. She's been on TV shows and everything. A lot of people respect her. For her to get up and openly say, I failed as a mom. That is not an easy thing to do.
Correct. I agree.
And she's doing all this on the hopes that other women will hear it and they will say, I don't want to end up like that.
Correct. And I can tell you one last thing too, is Martha Stewart. I have to find that link, but Martha Stewart was on a talk show. I don't remember the lady's name, but she was on a talk show. She brought her out. There's Martha Stewart, of course, the crowd for the ladies going crazy for her, whatever, because Martha Stewart, billionaire woman, very accomplished woman. Then they start to ask her some questions and things. And then Martha Stewart was saying, that she's single and all this other stuff, right? They clapping. and she said to the audience, she said, I should have focused more on my relationship, or I should have focused more on my marriage. And they had this awkward, like, they didn't know what to do with that. They did not know what to do with that, right?
That goes against the agenda.
Exactly. It was very awkward. And when she said something, they clapped. And she said, no, don't. She told the audience, she said, no, don't clap for that. I should have spent more time on my marriage. That's what Martha Stewart, their hero.
Not a problem. This is not a
yeah. That's
what all say. Because as women, let me tell you something. Whoever this woman is, and who she may not have kids. I don't think she's married. Right. When she gets ready to retire in about another 15, 20 years, and she's sitting in that big house, that nice car.
Yep.
Maybe screwing the pool man. Who knows?
Yep. Who knows?
Alone at night, laying in the bed with a bunch of cats and plants.
Yep.
She's not going to be able to sit up at night and say, but I ran my own talk show.
Yeah, exactly.
I've lived the best life ever. I traveled the world. No, she's going to be miserable because those things do not give us ultimate gratification. It doesn't. You know, being a supporter, a nurturer, it don't necessarily mean you have to have kids, because some women can't. But just living within your full femininity.
Yeah.
Being what we're made to be, because we are so good at it.
Your biological program.
We're good at it. We are one of the best supporters you could ever find. Like, we are so nurturing. Like, we are really good at it. We really, and it comes natural.
Best, natural.
It's not even like we got to be trained for it. Yeah, you got to learn some stuff, cooking and cleaning and managing time and all that. This is true. But that inner thing in us.
Yep.
And that's why a lot of times we see the Pookies and Ray Rays and we're like, I see the potential. We're directing that energy in us in the wrong place because we don't know how to bet.
Perfect, exactly.
That's why we're doing it, because we're like, no, I can see the potential, and then everything goes wrong because we're investing it into the wrong person, right? 100%. But it's in us to be like that.
Absolutely.
That's who we are.
That's why the vetting process is so important, and that's why the focus of the conversation as far as women, it should be on fulfillment, because it goes back to like what you're saying. Okay, like for instance, like you have a fairly large family, right? Mm-hmm. You pour in all your time, your attention, your energy, your love. You pour all that in, and then the return is when you get older and you have the love of your husband coming back to you because you build a family. You have the love of your children coming back. They're coming to you, mom, and you sharing all these stories. Then it comes back to you in grandchildren. Yeah. You see how it gets perpetuated? It comes back, and then you sit back in your golden years, and you're like, this is what we built. I got 7 children. I got 20 grandchildren. Look at them all around me. You see what I'm saying? It comes back in fulfillment, because never are you going to say, like you said, you told me before that you manage restaurants. You're not going to say when you're 80, 90 years old, I wish I would have spent more time in a restaurant.
No, I don't even that up. And the only reason you know about it, because we've been talking for a while, the only reason you know about it is because it was an example to give about a particular topic. Other than that, I talk more about my kids and my husband and things like that than I do of anything else, because that's what brings me joy and fulfillment.
Exactly.
And watching them grow and seeing their smiles and sharing, like, look at this picture, look at this. It brings me a joy. Yep. It really does. But for some reason, man, I mean, I feel so sorry for the young ones coming up. And
they get robbed.
Yes, because they're being sold a dream, a lie. Yep. That's telling them, go get your education and be great, and you're going to be happy.
Yeah.
And they're not happy.
Get your crown.
At this woman. Look at this woman. Look at her face, bro. 40-some years old. Look at her.
Look at it. The same time, the whole time she's looking like that.
She's not happy.
Yeah.
She's not happy.
And Ilyana, she was telling her the truth. She was telling her the truth the whole time. And her whole face, her lips were snarling up, and I'm like, man, this okay. Go ahead. Well, go ahead, Queen Mother Goddess. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm telling you, she's gonna end up. She probably already got a bunch of cats and plants.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Okay.
And then if she even do get a man, a lot of times they end up settling for a younger, less accomplished guy because they finally give up. They give up. They're like, okay, they all men are trash, so I'm just gonna get me a young one. And as soon as that young one grows up a little, makes something out of himself, he's out.
Yep, he's out.
Stay. He won't stay. Look at Madonna. They don't stay.
Exactly. Madonna is Madonna. She can't keep a woman. No one who's beating down Martha Stewart's door. I mean, can't
a woman and a man. It's Madonna. So
exactly. So, but who's beating down Martha Stewart's door? Who's beating down Madonna's door? Nobody.
And these are wealthy superstars.
Exactly.
So
who's beating down Vivica Fox's door?
Nobody.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So an average woman with average stuff going on, what chance you think you got?
Exactly.
Like
exactly. If these icons who they look up to, if no one's beating down their door, it's a wrap. It's done. It's done.
And that bus driver would probably be the best thing in her life.
Man, she could be one of the happiest people around. You couldn't wipe the smile off her face.
And you know why she said? You know why she said if he loves driving buses? You know why she said that? Because for some reason, and I did a show. It was a couple came up, and the lady said, the wife said that the man needs to be ambitious.
Okay.
And I said, why? If his goals, I forget the example I use, but I'm gonna use bus driver. Hear me out.
Right.
If a man's goal is to be a bus driver, he likes driving buses. He likes meeting new people. He likes helping the community. He loves his neighborhood, great schedule, good money. And he's content with that. He's putting retirement money up. He's saving enough so they can go on trips at least once a year. You know, he respects her, he loves her. Why does he have to have ambition? Why can't he just be okay? Why do you feel you have to project that on him? If that's not what he wants to do, that's not what he wants to do. He's happy being a bus driver. Now, if he wasn't happy being a bus driver, complain about being a bus driver every day, but then does nothing about it, then I can see you saying you're not ambitious enough. You sit here and you complain and you whine about being a bus driver. You hate being a bus driver, but yet you've done nothing to not be a bus driver.
Exactly.
Then I can see a woman complaining about that and saying, I can't stand how he's not ambitious. Like, because he's complaining. But if he's in his purpose, like for instance, most average pastors, they make pretty average money. Yeah, you got some pastors that are rolling in the dough. This is true.
Yeah.
But a lot of pastors make regular, like
they do.
Sometimes 50, maybe 50, 40, maybe 60,000 a year. Look it up. There's some pastors that are making 40,000 a year.
Yeah.
And they're happy. So you're gonna tell him, you need to be a pastor of a mega church. And the fact that you aren't a pastor of a mega church, I don't like that.
Projection.
Like, why can't he be happy with being a pastor? Maybe he likes being a pastor of a small flock. Maybe he feels like he can be more connected to them. Maybe he feels like he does more good in his community by being in a smaller church. Maybe he feels like he can reach people more in a smaller church. And it gives him fulfillment and joy. How is that not enough? So my thing is, why are women out here projecting that on men that are content, have fulfillment, and do a great job with their families? Why? Why are they projecting that on them?
Female nature, hypergamy. Wants a dude, higher status. He needs more because it makes
I think I'm an alien. I must have come from another planet.
Wants to do with higher status.
Because I've always, honestly, the only thing I've ever remember when I was single, what I wanted from a man, what I can remember, I remember wanting someone to, like, just, I guess, make me happy, make me feel pretty, I know it sounds like silly what I'm saying, but I remember I wanted him to make me smile, make me happy, make me feel pretty, give me attention when he can. Like, I never was like, oh, he better make this much, he better do this, he better do that. Like, none of that was my requirements. And maybe
that's good. That's good.
And I did have some bad relationships. Maybe I should have had some other qualities, like, some other qualities. But as I got older, I started realizing, like, okay, I have to start paying more attention to his views on life, how he treats the people around him. And as I started looking at that, and that he honestly just gives me joy.
Yeah.
It made me want to just shower him with, I don't know, as much respect, we're going to call it, because that's what men want.
That's what we want.
I can offer him. Like, it made me want to do it. And I remember, real quick story. It was my husband's birthday. I think he was turning 30. So this is a big deal. This is wild. He ain't that old, but he's turning 30. And I wanted to do something really nice because he's never really had parties. Never had birthdays, nothing like that. So I had this whole thing set up for him, and everybody surprised. And he didn't like it because he's not that kind of guy. But he was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe she did this. He told me never do that again. But at the party, I decided to do a toast. And at the toast, I remember a bunch of people there, married couple, everybody's there. I told him, I don't remember everything I said, but I remember telling him, I love to cook for you. I love to get your shoes every time you leave them laying in random places and put them up for you. I love washing your clothes. I love ironing your clothes. I love putting little snacks in your bag with notes. I love, like, everything I was naming was things I do for him. Like, I was like, I love when I went to your mama house to find out how she cooks her fish just so I could try to cook it like her. I love, like, that's everything I was doing. And I started crying, actually. I remember I started crying.
Really?
Yes. Okay. I started crying, telling him, like, all the things I love doing for him and how I thank him and how I loved him. After I did that, right, all the men were like,
thank you.
About 4 or 5 women, no lie, pulled me to the side and said, why would you do that? One of them said, you made us look bad. I said, what? Yes. One of them, she told me that I made her look bad.
Oh my God.
That's what she told me. And I said, how me expressing the love I have for my husband make you look bad? And she's like, naming all that stuff. Why are you naming all that? Like, you could have just said you loved him and that was it. Like, why you doing all of that? And I'm like, wow. I'm telling you, I think it was about 4 or 5 different women pulled me to the side and they weren't happy.
Wow. You see,
you very upset.
I see. The reason why you say you're an alien is because it's actually because you are a traditional woman, and that's the difference. And I think people, what we don't do, well, they're starting to do it now. Is that they don't differentiate, because I've been on the show a couple times. You know me, I always differentiate a traditional woman from a modern woman, and that's what happens, right? Women don't do that. They don't differentiate the two. They don't, they don't get all in all that or whatever. It's, to them, women are women. And so that's how they're going to come in at you. Like, well, why would you, I saw a video that pretty much said the same thing with this woman, she knelt down for her new husband.
Yeah, I got a video on that. Y'all go ahead and check that out.
Yeah, I want you to do that right now, but yeah.
A lot of comments in there. They was hot.
In the comments, they were hot.
That was the most beautiful thing I ever seen.
I know.
It was
and
so
that's all
beautiful.
guys want. And that's the thing. For the most part, that's all guys want. Is that admiration. Guys want to feel like a hero. They want to feel needed. They want respect. They want all those type of things, and those little things help. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, come on. I mean,
when they say that, women say things like, oh, so basically you want me to cater to you, but I don't need you. But don't men cater to us? Don't we feel appreciated?
Exactly.
Don't we want them to take care of us financially?
Yeah.
Don't we want them to jump in front of a bullet for us? Get ran off the train for us? Yeah. Don't we want them to do all of that? So I can't make him feel needed, but he can always be needed.
Always, exactly.
All the time, but I don't want you to know that I need you.
You see, the funny thing is, I had contrast too. I had, past relationship had contrast where I wasn't appreciated. I was taken for granted, wasn't appreciated, stuff like that. Got out of a relationship, that's fine. current situation is completely different. All the little things actually matters. All the little things are cool, right? And the things that are like some women, modern women would think like are expected and all that, I'm still meeting. It's like, okay, if I'm paying all the bills, you don't have to work. I'm doing my job. I will protect you with my life. Okay. I will look out for you. I'm looking out for our retirement.
Yeah.
You can lean on me in that, right? So when I'm asking little things like the things that you do, I don't get it. I don't expect any pushback. I don't get it, to be honest. I don't get any pushback. It's like, okay, just tell me what you need. I'm gonna do it for you. Yeah. That's what I get. That's fine, but that makes me happy. And I would say all the time, I would say, look, that's all I need, just to be recharged. That's it. Make me believe that what I am doing is worth it. That's it. That's it. That's all any guy wants. That's it. Make me believe that what I am doing is worth it.
And it's not easy. And I think that's what breaks my heart. The same video I'm talking about where I had a couple on. We need to probably react to that one day.
Yeah, we'll do another reaction.
We should one day. But she said something to the effect of, men expecting women to cook and clean, and it's not realistic if both of us are working, and it's not right. That's what she said. But I said to her, first and foremost, the majority of men jobs are extremely more, it breaks down their bodies because it's extremely physical.
Yep.
It's extremely straining mentally. They got a lot of jobs that put their lives in jeopardy. For instance, a truck driver. You might think a truck driver is nothing, but a truck driver is an extremely dangerous job. It's very dangerous. You're driving heavy equipment. Any wrong turn, your life, somebody else's life, it's no joke.
Up to 80,000 pounds.
And 90-something percent of men do those jobs.
Yep.
And that's how we keep food in our homes, cleaning products, because they're delivering this stuff all over the state. Snow, rain, fog, all of this. High bridges over oceans. All of this they're doing.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that women are working hard too, but a lot of these jobs that men have are very physically straining on them. So even if you are working, like I'm working, you know what I mean? It's totally different. A lot of women jobs are not like that. It's not as physically strained on us. Does it mean it strains us? Of course it does, but it's nowhere near that. So if him coming home and wanted to just put his feet up and relax, and you coming home and make him a cooked meal, and a lot of times we have children, make them freaking kids clean too. What's the problem?
Exactly.
I'm not understanding, because I do the majority of the cooking and cleaning in my home. I do.
Yeah.
I do the majority. I pretty much do it every day. But that doesn't mean he doesn't do anything.
Right.
He does stuff. He makes sure the lawn is done. He makes sure both cars are maintained, oil change, gas, clean. It's a lot. Something messes up in the house, he fixes it. He makes sure our security system is working. Even when he's not here, he's constantly, hey, go change this. I'm not there, but you need to remember to do it. Keeping me up to date on certain things. All of that he does. But I do the majority of the cooking and cleaning. And the crazy part is what women don't understand. When you take on those type of domestic chores, the men actually, without even asking, will get up and do stuff. For example, the other day, my husband was home. He did all the laundry. I didn't even ask him. This man worked 12, sometimes 14-hour shifts, and he, on his day off, decided to do laundry. I didn't ask him. He said, hey, laundry's done. Just fold it. But I took care of the washing, okay?
Yeah.
I even asked him.
Where have all the good men gone?
So my point of bringing all this up is that, they make it seem so horrible. You got to cook and clean. You're a slave.
Slavery.
This is horrible. Even if he wasn't there, you still got to cook and clean, right?
Yeah, I
know. Leave him because you say he don't help you cook and clean. Let's say you leave him. I can't take this. Now you're by yourself. Yep. You have less income because now it's only one income.
Yep.
You got no security.
Correct.
half your retirement or all your retirement is gone, because everyone knows most men have the retirement.
Yep.
So now your retirement's gone, your security's gone, your second income is gone, and guess what the kicker is? You still got to come home and cook and clean.
And you still got to come. You still got to come home and cook and clean. Yep.
So I don't get it. That was dumb.
They're fighting against their own best interests.
Exactly. It makes no sense. And I'm not saying that people can't work out a system. Mm-hmm. Like when I used to run a restaurant, I was doing 50-something hours a week. Right. My husband, a lot of times I came home, he'll make sure the kids ate. Mm-hmm. And then he'll be like, hey, can you just make sure they get their chores done? I got to get some rest. I got to get up early. I'm like, okay. So the kids had already ate. I just make sure the house is clean. And then, man, so we work together. So it's not like it's not men out there that aren't willing to step in and kind of help out with those things. But again, that was my choice. He never told me to go be a general manager and work 50, 60 hours a week. Mm-hmm. He never wanted that for me. I told him this is something I always wanted to do. Okay. Right? I always wanted to do it. I wanted to one day run my own business. So I thought this would be perfect. I can get free training, how to do payroll, food costs, scheduling. I could learn all of that. So when I want to start my own business, I just got all that for free and got paid to do it. Right? Instead of going to school for that. That was my plan. And he supported me in that. Mm-hmm. But you don't have to do this. It's this lifestyle that these women want to live. Right. They don't want to live in their means. It's a certain lifestyle they want. They think that if I become college educated and a career woman, I will get all the respect and esteem and gratification. And it's a lie. Show me an older woman with no kids, no husband, cats and plants, and is saying, I live the best life. You're not going to find it.
I've never seen it.
And if she did, she's lying. And I guarantee you, she's miserable. Look at Vivica A. Fox.
Miserable. Bitter.
Bitter to you?
Miserable, bitter. Miserable and bitter.
And this woman was fine back then.
And delusional too. And who I think the other one is Eartha Kitt. She's way back in the day. Miserable and bitter. Just woman, and alone. Single and alone. Single and alone.
Well, you guys, I enjoyed this reaction, man. Remember, you guys, let's talk reaction with High Value Hebrew. I'm looking forward to doing some more. Y'all make sure y'all go and check it out. Go inside, Let's Talk Podcast. Also, hit up High Value Hebrew on TikTok. That's where he's most active at. High Value Hebrew. He keeps it short, sweet, and to the point. So y'all make sure y'all go to High Value Hebrew on TikTok. You also have my Instagram and a YouTube, correct?
I do.
Yeah. So y'all definitely go and check him out. Like, subscribe to both of our channels. We need the support. We're trying to get the information out there, and we can't do it without you guys. So we're going to keep on pushing out the content, and we just hope that you guys continue to be on this ride with us, because, man, I love meeting with you, brother, man, every time.
Appreciate you. It's been a pleasure.
Anything else you want to say before we close it out?
No, I just want to tell everyone to please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. And hey, if it's something that needs to be covered, let's talk about it. Let's talk.
Ebony K. Williams has responded to some backlash that she got over saying she would not date a bus driver unless he owned the bus. Ebony K. Williams' net worth is about $3 million. Ebony K. Williams is an American lawyer and a television host. She co-hosts the late night talk show State of the Culture and Revolt TV. She co-hosted a talk show on WABC radio in New York City and was a co-host of Fox News in 2017. So this woman is very intelligent, very attractive, very hardworking. So we must not take light of what she says based alone off of her experiences, her education, and things of that nature. So with that being said, let's get into her response about not dating a bus driver.
I only saw a handful that even considered the possibility of a bus owner being a more aspirational position. Now, I suspect that some of y'all are the same men that were bringing home C's and D's on your report cards, only to then be coddled by parents that said, well, that's okay, as long as you're doing your best. Well, listen.
Oh, Ebony. We're going to stop you right there because you think you're being slick right now. You're trying to change the whole narrative. You're trying to make us now compare bus owners and bus drivers and say whether or not it's aspirational or not. No one is talking about that. So why are you trying to change the conversation to, oh, it's only a handful of people that agree with me that it's aspirational to be a bus owner? No one said that. We're trying to point out your interview how you would not date a bus driver solely because he's a bus driver, despite any other qualities that he may have that might actually make you a happy woman. And then you go to insult people and say, well, you guys are probably the same people that got C's and D's in school and your parents just coddled you and told you as long as you're doing your best. So now you got to reach into insults in order to prove the point that you're trying to prove while changing the narrative. But we see what you're doing, Ebony. We see what you're doing.
I love and believe in the excellence of black men. So no, my dear, C's and D's or any other form of mediocrity is not okay.
So I want you guys to pay attention to what she said. She's trying to say, if you're a bus driver, you're mediocre. And that is not okay with her. Being a bus driver is mediocre. And this is important to point this out because it's so disrespectful to all of the essential workers out there all over the world. Like bus drivers, truck drivers, house builders, roofers, plumbers, electricians. All these people are what we would call essential workers. If it wasn't for them, this world would not be able to run and function. And you can't tell me it's about finances because at the end of the day, bus drivers actually in a lot of states make more money than teachers. So it's not even about the money. That's not the point. What she's saying is so disrespectful for you to say that being a bus driver is not black excellence. That's what you're saying. When you sit here and say that I wouldn't date a bus driver, and then you turn around and say it's all about black excellence and mediocre, and then we need to be black excellent and mediocre. Do you understand that your entire life would not even be possible if it wasn't for bus drivers and electricians and house builders and roofers and all the essential things that we need to keep this economy moving the way that it moves. That makeup that you wear on your face, those clothes that you like to wear, somebody has to deliver it and bring it to those stores that you like to buy it from. So truck drivers, bus drivers, all of these people are extremely essential for you to have the life that you have today, right now, as we speak. Even the cameraman that's holding the camera and filming you, the production manager that's producing everything, the person that's making sure the sound quality is okay. All of these people in the background, you would probably consider these people mediocre. You want to be with the man that owns the camera equipment. You want to be with the man that owns the production company, not the person that's actually doing the production. Why? Because you consider them not black excellent and mediocre. And that is so sad. And it gets worse what she says. Let's keep watching.
But could it be that black America has been sold a narrative of average, regular, and typical being good enough for us? Well, see, that's called white supremacy.
Average, regular, typical being good enough for us? Do you hear your freaking self? What type of world are you living in, woman? If everybody was a freaking bus driver, who's gonna drive the bus? You sound so foolish. If everyone owned all the properties, who's gonna build the homes? Who's gonna go out there and sell the homes? You sound so foolish. How is being essential to our everyday living, being able to live from a roof over our head, to having fresh water, to being able to just turn on our lights? All of these are mediocre, average, regular positions. How is this not okay? The only way I can see it not being okay is if A person wants to be a bus owner, but they're a bus driver and they do nothing to move forward to be a bus owner. But all they do is complain about it. Then I could see you saying, that is not the person for me, because you have these aspirations to be a bus owner, but you do nothing to do it. All you do is sit back and complain about being a bus driver. That would be irritating. But if a man treats you good, respects you, loves you, takes care of you, supports you, not just financially, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, but he drives a bus, and that is your one issue because it is mediocre, average, and normal, that is a problem. Secondly, how the hell is this white supremacy? Are you serious? Are you serious? You're saying that if a person works an essential job and they are content to work that job, they are a condition of white supremacy. So what about all the white people that work average, mediocre jobs? Is that white supremacy too? Ebony, not everybody is going to be on Fox News. Not everybody's going to be a lawyer. Not everybody's going to do that. And what's hurting me and confusing me is that this woman makes about $3 million. Her net worth is $3 million, which means this woman probably has drivers that drive her around. She probably has maids that clean her house. These are all mediocre people that assist you in your everyday life. And you're saying that if they do that, they are a result of white supremacy? What is wrong with you? Oh my goodness. This woman is freaking delusional.
No, average is not and will never be good enough for me. And the gag is, I don't think it's good enough for you either.
I think it really hurts my heart hearing her speak like this, only because the simple fact is she's saying that average and mediocre is not okay for her and it shouldn't be okay with us. But yet she defines what average and mediocre is in form of value. If I'm average, I have no value. Is that what you're trying to say? Because if I do have value, why should that not be okay for you? Why should not your driver who drives you around, who will be considered average and mediocre, why is he not valuable? If it's not for him getting up every morning on time and making sure he's where you need to be and take you where you need to be on time, we wouldn't be able to sit here and enjoy your wonderful content that you share with the people. Right? And what about when you're a lawyer? Don't you have people to help you file your paperwork, file your motions? These are average and regular people. Are they not important as well? The fact that you sit up in your high horse and look down on people this way is so disgusting. And you make it sound so good. You make it sound as if what you're saying is inspiring people to be better and do better. And the reality of the situation is it's not inspiring people. Ebony, I don't know if you know this, but there are some people that are very happy and content with their average and mediocre life. And you have no right to sit back and put your nose up at these people and make them feel as if their value and their worth should not be acceptable. And somehow they are brainwashed in white supremacy because they're content with the life that they've built. With that being said, thanks again, you guys, for tuning in to Let's Talk Podcast. As always, make sure you guys always be here on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we either go live or we drop a new video. I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction, and I look forward to coming back again and doing more work. Please make sure you guys like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. If you think what I said was definitely out of pocket, you don't agree with it, and you think it's totally off, I want to hear from you. Let's talk. It's important that we come together and hear each other's different perspectives so that we can, in our community, grow and change within. With that being said, till then, let's talk.